Welcome to Chamber Exchange, a TV show. My name is Tim Murray, President and CEO of the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce, and we want to thank our sponsors who make this show happen. The Worcester Railers Hockey Club, which just announced that their season will begin in January at the DCU Center, and Worcester Regional Airport as well. I want to thank them for making the show happen. I want to welcome on this segment, we have Eric O'Brien from O'Brien Commercial Properties, and they manage the 10X self-storage facilities in Massachusetts. Eric, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you getting involved with the chamber, and you just opened up a facility in Worcester, and a location I think many people would be familiar with, or an area of the city that people are familiar with. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's, I guess technically you'd call that Greendale in North Worcester there. We're right next to the Market 32 on Pullman Street at number 40 Pullman. It used to be some sort of railroad manufacturing facility. It's a big 3-story brick building, and we're reskinning the building right now. We've already opened the facility on the ground floor before completion, where the city was kind enough to give us a partial and certificate of occupancy so we can start renting units. So we've got a manager there full time now, and we've been doing that for several weeks.
And an area you mentioned, an industrial area that's ripe for redevelopment, a lot of things happening there. When you kind of look at an area and determine how and where you're going to locate it, there are things that jump out at you. And what was it about Worcester and that made that the next 10X site?
Well, that's a good question, Tim. We like Worcester. We feel like Worcester's finally coming into its own. We've looked at Worcester for 20 or 30 years now, and I think it's just finally really starting to blossom. And there's a lot of really exciting things there with all the colleges and the hospital network and the biotechnology and the events and the Red Sox minor league team coming. There's just so many good restaurants and bars and nightlife, and it's an exciting place. So we look to be right off the interchange, as we are right off 190 there. I think it's
right 190, 290. Yep.
Yeah, 90, 290. We're right at that major interchange of interstate highways, and we like the being next to retail. The Market 32 is a real nice place. We also like the upscale sort of area with a lot of apartments, and we like apartments, so we want to be near those, and I think visibility is great. I mean, we don't have 100% visibility, but I think we have enough. And when the building is done, it's really going to be dramatic to look at, with a big flash cube and, the typical self-storage facade that you're used to seeing in other parts of the country.
Well, Eric, in that regard, it seems in the last, 15, 20 years that, generally speaking, self-storage has become kind of a growing sector or subsector of the commercial real estate space. I'm sure you've studied it, understand it. What has kind of brought about this trend?
Well, it's just gotten bigger and bigger. It's an actual, where you have office space, you've got hospitality, you've got industrial, you've got self-storage now. It's right there with hotel, and it's definitely a sector of the commercial real estate market that is recognized nationally, and you'll see statistics on it. And in Massachusetts and in New England, we haven't really reached the saturation point. So we're able to find niches like this Worcester niche, and I think we've got about 40 or 60,000 people within a 3-mile radius here in Worcester. And that's kind of what we look for, density in sort of medium-sized cities. We don't want to compete against the big boys in like Boston and New York. We want to go for the sort of mid-sized cities, like we're in Marlborough or Lowell, or maybe Worcester, some of the up and coming cities like that, where you've got a really upscale sort of residential component that seems to be rising there.
And Eric, you made a good point. I just, that, sometimes people might think, hey, I don't have enough room in my garage or my attic. And I'm sure that's a certain segment of your clientele, but I'm sure there are probably businesses, organizations, institutions that may not have enough space, or they have equipment they want to store, things like that. Is that a piece of kind of the strategy?
Yeah, when we opened our first facility in Acton, which is now 100% occupied, the town of Acton, we reached out to them and they came out and rented 16 units from us right out of the gate. And, we feel like we can do the same thing with Worcester because we feel like we're going to be the best climate controlled, secure, well lit, professionally managed facility. And for municipalities, police departments, for schools, it's going to be great. And I think also we've got the sector, the commercial sector, where we can have contractors. For example, a pest control company might store products and then go there instead of having to have a warehouse and an office. They might just have an office downtown and a little warehouse with us.
Right.
People, small businesses and retailers that don't want to inventory all their product, but they want to buy in bulk can store it there.
Right.
So there's all sorts of commercial and municipal applications for good quality, well-run, climate-controlled storage facilities like ours.
And we just got a couple minutes, but in that regard, staffing, security, I assume, are big pieces of that.
Yeah, we're very big on lighting around the facility and inside the facility. Everything's automatic. We've got 50 or 60 video surveillance cameras and a DVR, very secure DVR at the property and on the cloud. And we've got a full-time staff, Monday through Sunday, we are staffed. Monday through Friday, we're open from 9 to 6. And on Saturday, we're open from 8 to 5. And on Sunday, we're open from 10 to 2. And we found those hours work best for the average user of self-storage. And parking is important. We're going to potentially have some parking available for long-term, RVs and boats at some point.
Right.
But yeah, we want people to feel safe and secure there and have a friendly face there to greet them and help them with their challenges, and just work through it with them.
And in that regard, if, and just in the minute we have left, if someone wants to get in touch with you, learn more, website, get in touch with you, member of your team, how do they reach you?
Thanks, Tim. It's 10xselfstorage.com. That's the number 10, the letter X, selfstorage.com. And where our email address is help at 10xselfstorage.com. I'm sorry, it's info at 10xselfstorage.com. And the Worcester phone number is for reservations 508-459-6900. That's 508-459-6900. And our general manager is Michael Brown. He's a great guy. Come see Michael, have a tour. If you're a property manager or a real estate broker, rental agent, he'll give you a $50 gift card just for taking a tour and $25 gift cards for referrals going forward. So we're looking forward to doing business with the chamber and all the chamber related companies.
Right. Well, Eric, thank you. Thanks for being involved with the chamber. And we love what you're doing. Jobs, tax base, opportunity, and recognizing Worcester and Central Mass as a growing, emerging region.